Hi guys and welcome, Melon here, and today we'll be talking about Enchanting library. So this is your typical setup with enchanting table and bookcases, which allows you to put useful enchantments on your tools and armor. The problem is that you have to spend lots of diamonds and you have to have lots of luck to get what you really need. So I have a different solution to this problem. It's not anything new, it's just my interpretation of what you can do with Minecraft. So you have here, it looks like a typical library with bookcases and stuff, but you can see that there are some things here that basically indicate that there might be something useful behind those bookcases. You can probably hear the guys. So if I replace this torch, the whole thing opens, and you can see that for what happens, essentially each of those guys sell each enchantment available in the game. So our task here is to create those two OP bows as well as a nice silk touch pick, and I can show you how it can easily be done in the setup. So I come up to this guy that sells pickaxes, and I just want to buy one from him. The pickaxe is already really nice, but we want efficiency 5 on it. Why not? Efficiency 5 is what we really want, and that's something you can't get with normal enchanting table. So in terms of our bows, we can put lots of things on it. So we can start with infinity. Next we can put flame. Next is knockback is, I think, bad thing for swords. Punch. Punch is for bows. Uh-oh. Do you see bubbles? And here we are back. So we need punch from him. Next is obviously power 5, very useful thing on a bow. So power 5. And the last but not least is the infinity, which is a very useful enchantment overall. Sorry, unbreaking. Unbreaking. Okay, so with some easy shopping session, we just bought whatever we needed to pimp up our gear. So we can close these guys. And now they are safe from zombies. So now when we go to the anvil, we can see that we can easily, for example, with our pick, combine it to a really nice pick, efficiency 5 and breaking silk touch. In terms of what we can get from the villagers, we can get pickaxes, axes, swords, and chest plates, which are the most used things that require actually diamonds. What we can't get from them are the other pieces of armor, shovels, and hoes. Who uses a diamond hoe anyways? And shovel only requires 1 diamond, so that's not a big deal. Now guys, let's look what we can do with our bows. So I'm here at the cave spider spawner, and we are gonna combine the first bow like it's typically being done 1 by 1 enchantment. So we add power 5, we add unbreaking, we add punch, we add next thing, and then we add infinity, and we have the bow. It has everything what we need. So, but the problem with this bow is when we start to use it, when we try to repair it, The first repair costs you already 32 levels plus repair, so we will only be able to repair it once it's broken. So how you should do it is essentially you take the bow and you group with the item in groups of 2 enchantments and in groups of 4. So group those together, and then we'll group these 4 together with these 2. So let's start doing it. So we have our bow, then we need those 2 combined. Sometimes you can flip those, it's cheaper. And then those 2 combined, or 2. So then we want to combine the bow with the books. So you can see that it requires 9 levels. The good thing about this is it's easier to get those levels at the beginning, and then you are not required to have 30 levels like with proper enchantments. So when I kill a few spiders, I should be able to quickly get those 9 levels required for the job. And it's done. So we combine this, and then the last we need only 10 levels. So I'll just kill a few spiders and see you back in a moment. It literally took like a minute to get those few spiders, and we are just close to 10. Yeah, and we are done. So now when we combine those 2 things, we have exactly the same bow as previously. So we can use it a couple of times. Okay, to use some durability. And now you can see that to fix this bow you only need 8 levels plus the cost of repair. So you can repair it 3 times. Okay, so now let's look at what is required to get this kind of villager setup online. The basic requirement for the whole setup is the villager breeder. So I'm using here a Unary Bits design, which I will link in the description. And you have to connect this villager breeder to some sort of interrogation room where you can select your villagers. Obviously you can use any villager breeder design. You can use zombie spawner with a purification station. You can use infinite villager breeders, but I'm using this one. So let's hop in and let's talk about villager selection. So once you breed a bunch of those, you want to mainly focus on the guys in the white robes. So those are the librarians, and those guys sell enchant books for you. At the beginning you will be also looking at the guys in the light brown robes, which may be farmers. So this is Fletcher, is no use for us. There's one I selected before, this one. So they buy potatoes, carrots, wheat, and pumpkins and melons. So that's your main source of emeralds. So you want to find a good one. You can look up wiki in terms of the pricing and select one that has cheaper prices for the stuff that you are farming. So what you want to do, you want to get those guys one by one. You can obviously transport them to the nether, then you can kill them with a sword. If you are not in the nether, you have to use some other type of killing thing that they won't blame you for it. So with librarians you want to look at what you have. So it's Aqua Affinity 1. That's actually might be quite interesting. I have to check what I have. So you want to select them one by one and isolate. So who we have here? Fisherman, no use for us, and then the cleric, no use for us. So let's dispose of them, as I was saying, politely. Okay. And you want to continue until you find somebody interesting. So you want to also look at the guys who black aprons, those are your smiths. So after initial selection, you can see that we have selected a bunch of guys that might be interesting for us. So guys with black robes, what you want to do, you want to trade with them. So you want to trade with one piece of coal. This will open up their second tier. You see for the bubbles. And then you want to trade like a stack of iron. And when you see for the green things, you can actually then look what they have at the end. So this is efficiency 1, unbreaking 1 pickaxe. So it's not something that actually you can keep it for the first like at the beginning, but you might want to exchange it for a better one. We have better ones, so we not need this guy right now. Okay, let's look at the guys in white robes. So what we have here is librarians, and I selected this guy because he has power 5 for 28 emeralds. So librarians have this advantage over enchanting table that they can actually sell enchantments that you cannot get. So like power 5 or efficiency 5 or sharpness 5. And the good thing about them is there is, I think, 25 enchantments in the game, and the selection of books for those villagers is random. So they can enchant in total each 3 books, 1 at the beginning of their trading, and 2 at the end of it. So you might want to go through all of those to get up to this 3 books, but I kind of decided not to do it because it's actually easier to bring 3 times more of them and just pick one that have the best enchantment at the beginning. So there's 25 enchantments. The enchantment is chosen at random. Also the level of the enchantment is chosen at random, and actually price is also very slightly only dependent on the level of the enchantment. So you want to so essentially what happens is many people would think like, okay, I just need an efficiency 5 guy. But then when you think about it, once you find it, you are probably quite likely to find another 20 guys that have another 20 top enchantments that are in the game. So if you just want to find the silk touch guy, you're probably gonna find 5 or 7 guys that are top in their enchanting. So the main idea is just why don't you keep all of them? So there are 25 enchantments. So the enchantments like Silk Touch, you'll probably be likely to be getting after you interrogate about 25 of those guys. Enchantments like Power 5 are likely to be seen after about 125 of the librarians that you would see. So in total, to get all the guys, you might need to look through 150 of the librarians, which in total, since they've conform about 25% of the villager population, it will probably give you about 600 villages you have to go through. This number might seem like a big number, but in practice you'll go through it pretty quickly. As you might have noticed, this room was quite full a minute ago. So now let me show you. Oh, and also like here's another guy. Let's see what we have. Weaponsmith. So as I said, 1 emerald for coal. Now we go out. He'll open up, and then a stack of iron, and he should open up again. Yep. And now we can see what he has at the end. Efficiency 2, unbreaking 2 axe, pretty decent, and Bane of Arthropods 2 sword. So axe, I have a better one, and in terms of the Bane of Arthropods, I'll just leave it without any comment. So this guy is going. Okay, so now let me show you how I transport those guys. So as I mentioned, now we'll try to transport this guy to our base. So it's good that the interrogation room is directly connected through some sort of automated way with our base. So in this case you have a drop here, so you can move the villagers just by pushing them, but if they get stuck in the corner, you use a bucket of water to just remove them from their places where they get stuck. So in my case, when I place water here, he'll be pushed to the minecart. And now I just need to press this button and off he goes. To safely enclose the villagers, they need to be safe from zombies, because zombies will just kill them if they can. So in my case, I have placed jack-o'-lanterns with rail tracks on top. Villagers are still in the minecarts, so they are easy to move in and out when needed. The tracks are covered in carpet, so there are no air blocks around them, and they are covered around with solid blocks, in this case bookshelves, which can be opened using a redstone mechanism if you need it. To move them around is actually quite easy. The only thing you need is a bunch of rail tracks, a piston and a button. If you let's say you want to replace the guy that sits here, you want to remove the bookshelf, you have to go to the corner and remove the carpet. Okay, now you want to place your rails as you want to move him around. Okay. Okay. Let's remove this one. Okay. So you want to walk into his space. This will remove him from his locker. Now we want to get a new guy in. We just need to place him on the rails. Nudge him in. Oops. They are sometimes quite tricky to put back in. Nudge him in. Place him as much as you can. Oops, I forgot to put the blanket. Carpet. So we want to place the carpet first on the rails. Back on the rails. Move the guy back in. He'll slide under the carpet. And now you can remove the extra rails. Problem is that you might not be able to put the bookshelf in. So what you want to do is you want to place a regular piston, then the bookshelf, then place the button on the bookshelf, and then just press it. Boom. And that's how we can put the guys in and out of their lockers. The best way to obtain emeralds, which are necessary for the whole thing to work, are villager farmers. So the reason is they can trade for a bunch of things like wheat, potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, and melons, which all can be quite easily farmable. So you can have unlimited supply of all of those things in your base. In my case, I am using Unarbit's design for a potato and carrot farm, which I just slice in half and put 2 different villages in both parts. So this gives me unlimited resources in terms of carrots and potatoes. I also have the hopper minecart powered villager wheat farm, which also gives me lots of wheat. In addition, I'm using the simple piston clock powered pumpkin and melon farm to get pumpkin and melons in case the villager gets locked on carrots, potatoes, and wheat. So in general, this is a quite useful build with not too much work required. So you may not opt to trade with the librarians to unlock their other 2 books that they have in their trade. But for that you will need to go through many more of those, and I think this is a better idea. It's easy to breed them in very large groups. Just add a whole bunch of double chests of food into the breeder and you will get hundreds of them waiting for you in a few hours. Think of the infinite supply of diamonds with all the predictable enchantments. So if you are building this on a multiplayer server, try to build this as a community build. First of all, you want to share it with everybody. Second of all, you want to also pipe your output from your carrot, potato, wheat and pumpkin and melon farms at the location of the library. So this allows all of the players to get their gear in one place with an empty inventory at the start. You just first need to trade for emeralds and then trade them in place for the gear. Also 25 librarians in minecarts is 50 entities, so you don't want to have multiple sets of those on a server. You want to essentially minimize number of entities. Another point is that you want to prevent villagers from making a village from your library. Large village may trigger a zombie horde which can make zombies spawn in high light levels, even in the middle of your library. It also may spawn random iron golems in your location, which can sometimes mess up your stuff. Librarians will start also behaving weirdly at night if they are in the village, so to do that, try to avoid any wooden doors exposed to sun on the outside with 20-30 blocks from the villagers. You also need to build a breeder far away from the library location, at least 64 blocks, so they don't join the village. And also, instead of an on-off switch of a lever type, maybe install a button operated access that closes automatically after some time, or you can combine it with a daylight sensor to force it to close at night. It's a precious cargo and one baby zombie may ruin all your work. So thanks guys for watching my first video. I derped a few times. I forgot to apply the resource pack in the middle and take off my armor at the beginning to welcome you guys, so please excuse me for that. Thanks for watching, hope you found it useful. Please comment, share and subscribe for more tips videos. I hope for more redstone in the future, and please let me know if you plan to add this library to your world or server. Thank you and bye bye.